touted as a crime-fighting power tool. But how often is the Winnipeg Police helicopter in the air assisting officers on calls?
CTV News has learned lately, not as often as it could be. CTV's Caroline Bargout joins us now live.
Caroline, what seems to be the problem? How often or little is this chopper in use?
Well, Marilee, over the past couple of months, the chopper has spent more time here on the ground at 17 Wing than it has in the air. Now, the reason is staffing and maintenance issues. At the end of this month, the chief pilot will be gone, taking a job in Calgary. This will be the second chief pilot to leave in about a year, leaving the unit looking to fill that position once again.
We have the ability to get there very quick.
It is the Winnipeg Police Service's eye in the sky. But Air One has faced its share of problems since its launch in December 2010.
There are situations that we just quite simply can't predict. The aircraft needs to be obviously operating at an optimum level because safety is, first and foremost.
The helicopter is budgeted to fly 1,000 hours a year, which works out to an average of 80 hours a month. Police say in 2011, Air One was just shy of that mark. But so far in 2012, it's fallen well below. In January, February, and March, the chopper logged an average of 40 hours a month in the air assisting on calls.
The bad guy's 2 blocks away.
In April, it was grounded for 12 days for maintenance. And at the end of the month, another challenge. The chief pilot will leave the unit to take on a job with the Calgary Police Air Support Team. She will be the second chief pilot to have resigned since the program began a little over 1 year ago, leaving a shortage of trained personnel available to fly.
We're not efficient if we have an important tool that is sitting on the ground when it's meant to be in the air.
The Winnipeg Police Association says instead of using civilian pilots, the service should consider training officers to do the job.
Certainly police pilots that are hired and have a tenure with a certain police service tend not to be quite as mobile as civilian pilots.
Senior members that are in charge of the unit making every effort to ensure that the helicopter is functioning and being utilized in the most efficient way possible.
According to police, there are still 2 line pilots working in the unit. One is an officer, and the hunt for a new chief pilot has already begun. Police say Air One has assisted in over 1,000 calls for service, also assisting in the arrest of about 127 suspects. The hope is once all these kinks are worked out, those numbers will continue to rise.
So, Caroline, is the chopper still being used?
Gordon, police say the chopper is still being used. Officers say it was out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. One of our cameramen actually just called in to say that he heard the chopper over the north end just a little while ago, although police won't say exactly when it's out, so we can't give you the flight schedule for safety reasons, as well as so not to tip off criminals who might be looking for a good opportunity to break the law.
All right, thanks for this. CTV's Caroline Bargout reporting live.
For the second time in a year, Winnipeg police have to hire another chief pilot to fly Air One. In a few days, the helicopter's main operator will be going to work for the Calgary Police Service, leaving only 2 line pilots in the unit.
You can't, have a helicopter pilot, a spare helicopter pilot sitting just because. And we don't have any helicopter pilots on the job, so that's the issue.
But the Flight Operations Unit is also facing another problem. In April, the chopper was grounded for 12 days for maintenance issues. Police in Calgary and Edmonton say the same thing happened in their cities when they each had just 1 helicopter to work with. It would have to be grounded for 2 days for inspection every time it hit 100 hours of flight, then 3 to 4 days after 500 hours, and so on. Because of that, officials say they each had to purchase a second unit just to make sure they could be in the air every day. That's something the Manitoba opposition says this province should start looking at.
And if there are issues in terms of maintenance and we're not getting the effective use of it, maybe then it's time to look at another chopper so we can continue to get the kind of results that it is getting.
The province currently has a 3-year agreement with the city to cover Air One's $1 million annual operating expenses. Justice Minister Andrew Swan says when the contract is up for renewal, he would be open to discussing expanding the program.
We will consider any good ideas the police have. We work very closely, both inside and outside the perimeter.
Police are expected to release their annual report on the success of Air One in the next month. Officials say acquiring a second chopper would be on their wish list for the future. Caroline Bargout, CTV News, Winnipeg.
In addition to Winnipeg, only 5 other police services in Canada are equipped with a helicopter. Calgary, Edmonton, York Region, Durham Region, and Vancouver RCMP. And that brings us to our web poll question tonight. Do you think Winnipeg needs a second police helicopter? You can log on to our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca.